young brothers in Kansas City, Kansas just wanted to sell lemonade this summer. What happened when police were called to their stand is a story you are going to want to see. KCTV5's Zach Fisher has more.
Jakai and Perez Reese have been selling lemonade here on 33rd and Webster for years. But this week, when life gave them lemons, Kansas City's finest made sure they sold every cup. It all started with a 911 call, one police haven't heard before. Someone notifying them about two boys selling lemonade on the corner. But when Kansas City, Kansas police and firefighters arrived, they didn't shut the stand down. They became its best customers. Officer Morgan Reed was among the first to pull up during the afternoon shift.
I was calling everybody, yeah. I was just calling everybody, hey, make sure you guys stop by the lemonade stand. And then just whenever they were busy, a couple people were able to swing by.
Those calls worked. When all is said and done, the boys sold more lemonade and Kool-Aid fruit to dozens and dozens of officers in about 30 minutes.
Grape, and I think that was blue raspberry.
It totaled $280. But for Perez and Jakai, it wasn't about the money.
They gave us like some stickers, they gave us a lot of things. And I used it on my shirt, and then they was like, now you're an official police officer.
Officer Reed liked it so much, she came back Thursday, spending another chunk of change. She says moments like this are exactly what community policing is supposed to look like. And for Perez, the motivation behind the stand goes beyond the badge stickers.
I just wanted to help the homeless and buy me a new e-bike, because that has been my dream since I was little.
Use the money for my nephew and niece inside. I was going to use the money to buy them diapers and stuff.
Not a bad squeeze for a couple of kids just trying to make a difference. The boys tell me they're going to be out here all summer selling lemonade. Officer Reed says that she had to come back, and after tasting the lemonade myself, I honestly can't blame her. Kansas City, Kansas, Zach Fisher, KCTV5 News.
Y'all, I would love to know what idiot called the cops on these sweet, hard-working young men and why. So two young brothers were recently running a lemonade stand that was in their neighborhood in Kansas City, but they got an unexpected surprise. The cops showed up at their lemonade stand after some dumbass called 911 to report their business. This is Perez and Jackie Reese, and they recently set up their normal little lemonade stand where they sold lemonade, Kool-Aid, and snacks. However, an anonymous caller called authorities, actually the 911 emergency line, and that was to report these kids selling freaking lemonade. However, when emergency responders, yes, emergency, when they were dispatched to the scene, after the complaint, it didn't go as that sour caller had planned. They didn't shut it down. In fact, they decided to support it. And they bought out the entire lemonade stand that afternoon from the brothers. That's partly due to Officer Morgan Reed. She responded to the scene, and she said she then called everyone she could. Told them to go by the lemonade stand, and several people did when they got the time that day. And y'all, I absolutely love this. The police department even went as far as to advertise their lemonade stand on social media. How cool is that? Good job to this police department. The Kansas City Police Department said in the social media post, if you find yourself needing a cool drink or fruity snack on one of the many upcoming hot days, swing by this address and support these fine young men and their choice to do something positive on their summer break. Unfortunately for the idiot who called 911 on these precious boys, the lemonade stand was not stopped or shut down. And you know what? Those boys brought in $300 in one single afternoon. It was said Officer Reed even went back to the stand the next day and spent another $40 there. She said friendly police interactions with kids are important, and I totally agree. And y'all, listen to this. Y'all want to know what the kids want to do with this cash? Perez wants to help the homeless and to buy a new e-bike, while Jackie is going to buy diapers for his niece and nephew. They are planning to continue the lemonade stand for the rest of the summer, and I'm so glad to hear that. I wish them so much luck. Shame on the fool who called emergency services over this. These young men are hustling, working, doing something good for themselves and the community. But you have the nerve to call 911 on them as if this was some horrible emergency. Make that make sense. I'd love to know what person called 911, because y'all already know I'd call them out with the quickness. My children have done several lemonade stands already this summer, and I will always support them when they want to do lemonade stands, and I always stop and support other kids with them as well. Let kids be kids. Dear gosh. For more content, be sure to follow and subscribe over on YouTube.
The fact that these kids are minding the business that literally pays them. Y'all already know I mind the business that pays me. I go to the messy side. I don't go over there for me. I go over there for y'all, and you're welcome. So this was in Kansas City, Kansas. So these two guys, these two little boys, they're, our school's out. They selling lemonade. They like, we about to make us some money. They selling the lemonade. They got little posters. They got signs. They mama did good job on those signs. But of course, there's always a Karen around just waiting. So a Karen decided to call 911 on the boys because they're selling lemonade. And anybody can drop in the comments right now, what crime have they committed? And I hate that because black and brown boys already have a rough time and now they're doing something positive. And look, yeah. So the cops come or whatever and they see what's going on. They figure it's a Karen. So what do? And I love this for the little boy. They go ahead and they call all the cops that's working. They telling everybody stop by and get you some lemonade. So everybody supported the boys. Everybody's calling everybody. They ended up having a great time. And the boys made a lot of money that day. One of the little boys said he was saving his money for an electric bike. And the other little boy said that he was saving his money for getting diapers and stuff for his little niece and nephew. I gotta go, y'all. Bye.
What kind of a piece of shit calls the cops on kids with a lemonade stand?
It all started with a 911 call. One police haven't heard before. Someone notifying them about two boys selling lemonade on the corner. But when Kansas City, Kansas police and firefighters arrived, they didn't shut the stand down. They became its best customers. Officer Morgan Reed was among the first to pull up during the afternoon shift.
I was calling everybody, yeah. I was just calling everybody, hey, make sure you guys stop by the lemonade stand.
They gave us like some stickers. They gave us a lot of things. And I used it on my shirt, and then they was like, now you're an official police officer.
Officer Reed liked it so much, she came back Thursday, spending another chunk of change. She says moments like this are exactly what community policing is supposed to.
You called 911 because two kids had a lemonade stand on the corner? You're a fucking scumbag. I hope you stub your toe every single night when you go to the bathroom. I hope that when you flip the pillow, it's never cool. I hope you get one of those annoying paper cuts that you just can't fucking get rid of because it's in that one spot where it never fucking heals. Who the fuck calls 911 on a kid's lemonade stand?
Hello, you guys. This is a feel-good story, right? Yeah. Yo, like, it just warms my heart to see a community like this, especially the police community, to come and rally behind these two black little boys. So, in Kansas City, oh, excuse me, I don't know the date, so we're just going to say early June. Two brothers, Perez and Jakai Reeds, are out selling lemonade and chips and candy and stuff like that. And they've been doing this for several years. But I guess this year, maybe a new neighbor moved in and they did not like it. They called 911 to complain. And Morgan Reed, she was the first police officer on the scene with the firefighters. And she don't see nothing. She don't see no crime scene. She don't see nobody doing anything. And she goes, how much is the lemonade? And she buys lemonade, and the firefighters, they buy lemonade because it is hot and all that gear makes you sweat. And she calls friends, family, co-workers. Hey, stop at this address. Come by when you're not busy. Come get some of this delicious lemonade. And I know that piece of shit neighbor, that racist motherfucker, is big mad. Okay? Is mad as hell that these white officers, white firefighters, is supporting these two black boys. They're supposed to be shutting it down and the boys should be in the house. Nothing. No, not like this. Oh boy, this is such a joy with so much hatred and BS going on in the world right now, we need more stories like this. This, you guys, is amazing. We don't see enough stories like this where people rally behind other people and make a positive change. These boys sold out in 30 minutes because of Officer Morgan Reed. And then on top of that, Miss Reed came back the next day and brought more lemonade. Yo, you can't make this up. This story warms a lot of hearts. And shout out to the officers, shout out to the firefighters, shout out to the community who came to support these two young men. Whew, because the next story ain't this feel good. But hell, what do I know? I'm just a talking head.
Whoever called the police on the two young black boys who decided to open up a lemonade stand and also sell snacks and chips, saying that it was illegal and they didn't have a permit out in Kansas City, baby, when the police showed up, they showed out. They not only did not shut down that lemonade stand, they frequented that lemonade stand, helping them make over $300 in the first day. The police officers were so proud of the boys that they actually started to promote their business. They even came back the next day, and one of the police officers was on the news saying, I was calling everybody that I knew and told them to come down here and get some of this lemonade and some of these snacks from these boys. The boys said that the police officers were so nice to them. They gave them stickers, they hung out with them, told them stories, and just chilled. Now, this is the kind of community policing that we need, especially in a time right now when the world is full of hate, let's be honest. We need a lot of love. Like Deontay Kyle said, the revolution is love, not hate. And this is a prime example of how you go out into a community and you start to change the perceptions of the police. So shout out to you, Kansas City Police, for taking care of the community and starting to enact change. 2 degrees of effort is all that we need. Lead with love. Let me know what you think about this in the comments, and of course, you'll know I'll drop some information down below.
I cannot believe that somebody called 911 on these two boys because they put a lemonade stand outside of their house in Kansas City, Kansas. So KCTV5 and this local reporter shared the story yesterday. Apparently, somebody called 911 on the boys because of their lemonade stand. So the officers showed up, and you know what they did? They called the rest of their crew. She called the rest of her crew, and they showed support. They bought lemonade, they bought snack. I mean, look at her holding this baby. These boys are clearly doing nothing wrong. They're showing entrepreneurial spirit. They're learning business skills at a young age, and they're learning to provide for themselves. Who's going to turn their back on young boys doing this? One is raising money for a e-bike, and the other is just trying to raise money to buy his nieces and nephews diapers and such. So shout out to these first responders for, really turning this into something very special for the boys. Shout out to KCTV5 for sharing the story. These boys are getting exposure. They're going to make lots of money this summer. And it looks like they have the address on their sign, which is 3306 Webster. In Kansas City, Kansas, so we can all head out there and show some support. And if anybody tries anything fishy, just know that these boys have backup now. Share the story and let's make these boys some money.